what is these crystal. This is what you called is rosary. This is the form in which the human race prays in honor of their religion, in honor of their faith. Do you know that these, the terms rosaries, are in old your faith institutions? Not necessarily in this form, but you will have faith beads, mantras as you call many. You all have some form symbolic to your prayers, to your loved ones that have moved on, and prayers also to your God, whoever this God source is. Your God source, mother, father, creator, comes in all shapes and sizes. For there is not one shape and size. It is an infinite number of shapes and sizes. It is in all of you, your creator. It is in all your life forms, your animal life forms on the planet, your sea life, your insects, the air that you breathe, the land that produces the food substance you eat. All is united, connected to the universal life force. It is inside of you that spark infinite light and life. For life is a continuation from this unto another and unto another until you go through the cycles of purification. Your ancestors knew this. Within all your crop circles, you have this symbol, which is the spiral of life. It is the spiral of all life in this universe, onto earth. You are within the spiral of life. You begin in the center. You begin as you are, as a species in this planet, Mother Earth. You start at the center. You move gradually within your incarnations. It's a process. It's a process of purification. You move, and the planet evolves and moves with you in your process of purification. Where are you now within this spiral circle of life? Where are you now as a species, as a race of brothers and sisters, as a collective whole? Where are you now as Mother Earth united? Or are you separate from your Mother Earth? Are you evolving at the same pace? For this is what we wish, your evolution in the same pace as your Mother Earth, as a collective human race together. So what you are all feeling on your planet now is the rumbling of the earth, the heating of your volcanoes ready for these eruptions. Your north and your south poles unstable because of the unbalanced weather caused by your sun. Your sun too is going through its own cycle. It is also unbalanced at this moment, and it needs balance. We are in our large crafts, you call them motherships, surrounding the sun. We reflect these coronal mass ejections that could destroy parts of your world and heat up and burn much of that which is your life food sources, your animal life, insects, plant life, diminishing your oxygen. If we did not so, you would not have enough oxygen now to survive. We've been doing this, giving humanity more time to evolve with your planet. Together, we come forth to shield you from these massive sun flares that could disrupt all your communications, where some may hit this planet in some parts of your world. We have great technologies, yes, but within our own technologies, within our own crafts, we reflect this ejections back onto the sun until the sun goes through its own cycle, returns back to balance. So, as we are doing this with our crafts, we are also sending other crafts. But unmanned, there is only technology. These are liquefied crafts. Your world's scientific minds know of this, for they have many movies where their solids turn to liquids. Same thing. Are vehicles or crafts, but not motherships. No, these are sent forth with specific tasks to come forth and enter your volcanoes, but in a energy form, and it becomes liquefied. The energy form becomes liquefied as it enters your volcanoes to the same heat element to blend it and go through until it reaches its origin and disperses the unbalanced energies, spreads them throughout, so there will not be a destructive eruption. Perhaps minor volcanic eruptions, yes. It's a release of some of these energies, but not in full destructive force. So these other energies are dispersed throughout your world and will cause some land movements. But in others, from the greater massive volcanoes, even if they do release some of their energies, may create some of this energy to be spread under your earth lines, under your oceans, and build up and cause a greater earthquake, especially within all the major fault lines of this planet. And new fault lines would also be affected, but to a lesser degree, even though you will experience land movements greater than some of your past earthquakes. But we try to prevent major catastrophic destructions. So we are asking for forgiveness if there is destruction and our loss of lives. For in all, we need to bring balance, and to bring balance to the world and energies on the planet of whatever means they are, be it volcanic, be it of your earth mass, be it of your north and south poles, because of these weather disruptions causing a deterioration of your ice, melting these caps where the water will then elevate to certain degrees and overcome and overflow many of the coastal lines that are within the perimeters of the flow of your oceans. Now, these are the coastlines that would need to prepare for this overflow of water from your sea levels. Preparedness is always wise, for ignorance has caused this planet much of your wars. Ignorance, for being wise and prepared, can prevent you from suffering, can prepare you for making the right decisions on time for your safeties. But no, we're not saying unto you, leave, for it is taking away your free will to do so. We are only saying that these energies that build up under your ground, under your ocean floors, caused by the balancing of various volcanoes on your planet, they have to be dispersed. These land masses, many will be affected by these energies, but it must be. For if these greater massive volcanoes were to erupt, it would be great destruction and loss of life. So, within your weather as well, we only say unto you the imbalance that is within your sun, and also the imbalance of this planet, which caused this change, but in a minor effect, for we are trying to balance the stability of the planet, Mother Earth, Gaia, this jewel in the heavens, in the solar system. You know not how valuable, precious this planet Gaia is. It is your mother. You receive your life from your Mother Earth, as you receive life from also your Father Sun. You receive balance from your moon. So when any of these become unbalanced, we need to come forth to create and maintain some stability, to allow the human race more time to evolve and to move together in your evolution and oneness together. We ask you not to take steps in moving from wherever you are. For many of these events could be avoided. Some would be lessened, but some need to be. For this brings about a cleansing as well that the Mother Earth requires to move forward, as the human race needs to experience to move forward. Now, we say the imbalance is not only of the sun, but also of the planet and the north and south poles because of the weather. Now, the imbalance is also of the air and the water, the foods that you eat, the life forms of these animal products that you eat. It's contamination. This all is contaminated from all your past histories, contaminating your planet, and now with your higher technologies and the radiation leaks from this island of Japan. And we say, even though they are this nation doing all that is, we are saying that this cannot be controlled. This is a continuous leakage in your air and in your ocean that travels on the air and through the water. It travels in waves in your earth and under your water. Your sea life is contaminated. It's not wise to eat from your oceans that are within the coastlines towards the western hemisphere from the island of Japan, and also all the surrounding lands within the island of Japan. We are doing what is allowed for us to do to assist Japan to contain it as much as possible, sleek. And we say to the world only, take your food substances and neutralize them before you ingest them. Your bodies will accumulate some of this radiation slowly, but you must also detoxify your system slowly, and your bodies will start to accumulate and live and accept even radiation. You humans will begin a transformation because you are breathing in contaminants, eating contaminants. So your DNA in your system is slowly changing to accept these changes. You will not be the same within your original structure, within your own DNA, because of these chemical radiation substances. You are breathing and eating. But we say we are with you, protecting the species, for you are beautiful. We are all part and one in this universe, and you are connected with many races from the universe. You are part of many races. So we are all then aliens, as you called us. Now, all this that we mentioned has been steps taken by humanity. But you alone are responsible for each step and decision you make in your lives. As your world leaders are responsible for the steps and decisions they make that may affect their nation and the world, as it is now within all the transmissions that have been given unto you for your 2 years going on the 3rd year, beginning 2011, 2012, and now 2013. We've been preparing you for these times. But these messages began since your years of 1987 from this vehicle, from her guides. All prophecies were being given by great ones, great men and women, commanders aboard crafts or motherships, beings of light from councils of light, from the great masters, from the angelic realms, from the hierarchies of all your planetary systems within the solar system. This is a vehicle, but a universal vehicle, as a radio receiver that has AM stations, FM stations. She can go into either one, AM, FM, and any of those frequencies within these stations, and all are of the highest light and wisdom and of benevolence from the universe. So she is a universal trance communicator. Not channels. There are many channels in your world. You are channels. Each one of you are channels. You channel your higher selves. When you hear beautiful words and you hear advice coming from your higher selves, when you write words of great understanding and wisdom, compassion and love, that's your higher selves. You are channeling your higher self, channeling that energy. But to truly contact your spiritual guides on a one-to-one base of connection, you must first connect to your higher selves and touch your higher self within. You enter that temple of light within. You see the temple. You see yourself in that temple. And then you will see your guides who introduce themselves to you. Once that occurs, then you are in communication and oneness with your guides. You are all channels. For you all channel the greater light that is within you of your higher selves. But vehicles, transmitters, and receivers, as we have said before, another guide came through and said this to you. We we give unto certain number of vehicles chosen of their own free will to be here on earth. We give them our walkie-talkies. You call them walkie-talkies, transmitters. But these walkie-talkies you give to your own family. You give to your own loved ones so they can communicate with you, you communicate with them on that transmission only. No one else can communicate on these transmissions within these walkie-talkies. So we give our vehicles, but they are of service here on earth unto others, as guides, as messengers. We give them these walkie-talkies. They connect with us, we connect with them. But in reality, you are all channels. So listen to that voice within you. Hear it. Go within that light and become one with that light until you have true contact with your spiritual guides. Then you are ready to receive from us and become transmitters that we may give unto you also these walkie-talkies or transmitters. We do not implant anything in our vehicles. You have no implants. They are of the mind and they are of the spirit. These are our transmitters, like neurons. Neurons that connect to the mind and to the spirit, or soul essence. We leave out the body, for your body is a vehicle. It could be discarded when you leave this planet and you move on to a new body, wherever you are going to go for your further experiences and learning lessons, or of being of service, or missions as ambassadors or light beings and co-creators. For you all are evolving within your own time frequency and spiritual development at your own pace. So you are all lights, but you're all vibrating at different frequencies as your light bulbs, your light sources. Now, this Middle East crisis, much has been spoken of for these years past, and it is for everyone to listen, to understand, for these past transmissions are recorded for the public to hear, to understand, to awaken. No prophecy is not written in stone. Know that they are only warnings. Humanity, the human race, your leaders have the capacity, have the mentality to work together to resolve these problems in the Middle East peacefully, through all means of communication without the use of force. For violence begets violence. It's not the law of Moses. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This is not these laws. For with this, if you strike, they will strike you. If you kill one, they will kill two. It is the law of forgiveness. It is the law of unconditional love for your planet, for the human race, to do all that is possible. Together, the leaders of the world, to bring about peace and stability and balance in the Middle East and all nations that are in turmoil. But each nation has their own karma. And each nation has to iron out their differences. And if they battle this out between themselves, it is their free will. You cannot take upon yourselves their crosses, for they carry their own cross. You cannot lift up and take it away from them, but you can make their cross, their burdens lighter by being of assistance to humanity and to those that suffer. You only assist in alleviating some of their pain and suffering, but you cannot take away their cross. They chose these experiences as well for their own growth as a nation and as a collective human race in that part of the world. So involve not your neighbors who are innocent, but your neighbors should see the suffering and come forth together and send forth assistance that is humanitarian to assist those that suffer, but not through violence and not through wars. For by doing so, it is a small flame. So when you strike this flame with more oxygen and you put more coals or wood, this flame gets larger until it engulfs that nation and its neighboring nations, and they will all be on fire. Once they are on fire, you will not have enough water to tame those flames. You will not have enough fire to diminish those lights which are forced out of control. Now, not only are these flames on what you would call a line that would be of dominoes. When you strike one, it would fall and strike the other until all are affected. And all of these dominoes collectively become a rope. And this rope together becomes very strong and powerful and can lash across the oceans to strike the ones who cause the flames to be out of control. So, to maintain balance and peace is through the power of the word. They say this word is give peace a chance. Humanity and the world leaders must give peace a chance. For you have not done so in eons of time. It is time to recognize your demise. So give peace a chance. Through love, understanding, cooperations through the world leaders cooperating to bring balance, peace, and stability in the Middle East and all troublesome nations, and this nation they call the United States. Truly, you must also find your balance. For there is no greater or lesser. There should be only an equality of powerful nations working together with understanding and respect, but not of competition, of greatness, of who has more power and who has greater weapons to destroy the planet. For you all have these weapons to destroy your planet and humanity. And those survivors, their DNA would have already been affected. You would not be the same humanity. You would not. Your children would then be a new offspring, but mutated. And those that wish to save themselves under the ground, with the cities under the ground or on other planets with bases and coverings, we know where you are. The elements will come to you underground or in any place within the solar system that you may be. The elements will reach you. And you would not only lose, but you lose the planet. And you lose a precious species. Think before you take action. All leaders must think before they take action that will bring harm onto the planet and the human race and affect the solar system. Your nuclear weapons, we will not allow in space. And if you strike against one another as brother attacks another brother, this is not the time of Cain and Abel. We will not allow Cain and Abel to strike each other. We will try to come in between as mediators, as counselors, so that you all may see what is at stake. What is at stake? Your planet, the beautiful jewel, and this beautiful species that you are. You know not who you are. You have so much potential. This is the spiral that we said to you, you are in. You must understand this. You are now towards the end of this spiral. You must now understand where you are in this spiral. You start at the center with your planet. You are moving outwards. You are now at the tail end. What does this mean? You are at the tail end for your next evolutionary cycle. If you choose this to be of peace and of a new world. A world where all human beings of all color and races become one race. They become united, it's true, brotherhood. And at this end phase, another one comes in. It is this right here, which is the center of the spiral, that will unravel itself. It will unravel itself and connect with the end of yours. And you become full circle galactic citizens. You become part of this sector of the universe. Your planet becomes part of the sector of the universe to peacefully navigate and become galactic citizens and explorers. This is the circle of life you will go through, but you are at the tail end of the spiral of life. It depends now on what your world leaders choose, especially this nation of the United States. It must humble itself and rationalize with all nations' leaders that the choice is to give peace a chance, to work the problems of the Middle East and the world through understanding, respect, mutual agreements to maintain this balance. For you will be facing greater challenges, greater. So save your powers, your nuclear weapons, your technologies, save them. But destroy all that is of chemical, biological warfare. Your nuclear substances we will not allow in space. And if you take on the notion of being powerful and use them, the unstable minds, not leaders that are wise. Leaders that are wise choose not this path to destruction. It is those with unstable minds that wish to take power away and control through fear, through destruction and end of lives. It is these we are working with, and all leaders of the world must work to find them and balance them. Balance them with truth. You balance them with truth so they may see their errors. Imprison them with light so they will have no power to cause harm. You understand how important this is. Your thoughts and your prayers and the world's leaders' decisions and the humility and humbleness of this nation to accept all forms of peaceful negotiations and to give peace a chance. You have now done so in eons of time. This is the time to choose. If you wish to enter into the spiral, the circle of life, for you're ending the spiral. You're at the end, and the circle of life begins anew. Your choice. The world's leaders and humanity collectively will send your love and light and imprison all leaders of your world to make the right decisions, to bring peace in the Middle East, harmony, and prepare yourself for Mother Gaia, for your sun, for the weather changes that will be disruptive because of the transformation, because of the purification cycles. You are going together with your planet Mother Earth in these purification cycles. But you will go through these trials and tribulations with faith, with love, working together collectively, sending your powerful thoughts of love and of balance, of peace, sending this love and light around your planet Earth to maintain stability around your sun, to return back to balance and normalcy. It is being renewed as this Earth also is going through a purification cycle. And all on your moon, benevolent and malevolent brothers and sisters, are watching closely these events. Our greater ships are monitoring these events and assisting you, assisting the planet, assisting world leaders who are benevolent. So you may have more time to work out all issues and focus on what is occurring to clean your air, your earth, water, and just be prepared and on guard for these climatic changes that affect the North Pole, the level in water and rising of your shoreline water, and volcanic movements, land movements. But there will be other trials and tribulations that would be of illnesses and that will be of lack of food substance. From many parts of your nations will be lacking in food due to the imbalance of the sun and your severe storms and dry weather. All these elements come together and affect your food substances. So keep them in a storage, as you call them, as your water supplies, for a term, until your civilization and some of these trials and tribulations pass, until there is balance within your sun, until there is balance on the planet's energy and the energy grids, and the earth and the volcanoes' energies are brought back to balance. This can be months, it could be within 6 months, or it could be within one of your cycle years. But is it not better to be on guard and prepared than to be ignorant and to avoid seeing the signs in the heavens and on earth and do nothing for yourselves and your loved ones? So, came in representation of the White Brotherhood. Many ones are in one body with this voice. It is not one guide, there are many within this council of the White Brotherhood.